Nigeria's political atmosphere is already beginning to intensify ahead of the 2027 presidential election, but a fresh prediction by Primate Ayodele has introduced a surprising new question into the political conversation. Could Nigeria's capital be moved from Abuja back to Lagos? The leader of INRI, Evangelical Spiritual Church, has claimed that President Bola Tinubu could relocate Nigeria's capital to Lagos if he wins a second term in office. Ayodele made the claim in a video shared on X, while speaking about Tinubu's political future and what he believes could happen if the president secures another 4 years in office. According to the cleric, Lagos will undergo major changes under a second Tinubu administration and could eventually become Nigeria's federal capital. Lagos architecture will change. You may not see this one very seriously, but if Tinubu wins the second term, the capital of Nigeria will be relocated to Lagos, Ayodele said.
Lagos architecture will change. You may not see this one very serious. If Tinubu wins second time, Lagos capital will be relocated to Lagos. If you win second term, there will be a new capital, not even in Lagos. But Lagos, but not Lagos as Lagos. It can be in Epe, can be in Lekki, it can be somewhere. But Tinubu wins, capital of Nigeria will be relocated.
He went further to suggest that the new seats of government could be located in different parts of Lagos State. When this happens, the capital can be in Epe or Lekki or anywhere at all in Lagos, he said. The claim has immediately raised questions because Abuja has been Nigeria's capital for more than 3 decades. Before Abuja became the federal capital, Lagos served as Nigerian capital from independence in 1960 until the seat of government was officially transferred to Abuja in 1991. The decision to establish Abuja as the new capital was driven by several considerations, including its central location, relatively neutral political position, and the desire to reduce the concentration of national power in Lagos. Abuja was also developed to provide a capital that would be less associated with any particular ethnic or regional group. For now, however, there is no indication that President Tinubu or the federal government has announced any plan to move the capital. Ayodele's statement is a prediction, not an official government policy. Nevertheless, the prediction is likely to attract attention because of Tinubu's long political connection with Lagos. Tinubu served as governor of Lagos State from 1999 to 2007 and built a powerful political structure in the state. His political career in Lagos played a major role in his eventual emergence as one of Nigeria's most influential political figures. Lagos also remains the country's economic powerhouse. The state is home to a huge population, major financial institutions, international companies, ports, manufacturing, businesses, entertainment industries, and one of Nigeria's busiest airports. It was also the political and administration center of Nigeria for decades. That history means that the idea of Lagos becoming the capital again is not completely unfamiliar to Nigerians. However, moving the capital will be a massive undertaking with significant political, legal, financial, and administrative consequences. Abuja currently houses the Presidential Villa, the National Assembly, the Supreme Court, federal ministries, diplomatic missions, and numerous national institutions. Foreign embassies and international organizations have also established permanent operations in the Federal Capital Territory. A relocation will therefore require the movement or duplication of enormous government infrastructure. It will also raise questions about the future of Abuja. The city has developed significantly since it became the federal capital, attracting millions of residents and becoming an important center for politics, diplomacy, construction, hospitality, and real estate. A decision to move the capital could therefore have a major impact on property values, businesses, employment, and investment in Abuja. Lagos, meanwhile, will face its own challenge if it were to become the federal capital. The city already struggles with heavy traffic, rapid population growth, housing pressure, flooding, and intense demand for infrastructure. Turning Lagos into the national administrative capital would potentially place additional pressure on an already crowded metropolitan area. However, supporters of such a move could point to Lagos' existing infrastructure and international connectivity. The city has major roads, airports, seaports, financial institutions, and extensive telecommunications infrastructure. Lagos is also much more connected to Nigeria's international business community than most other Nigerian cities. But the argument for Abuja was never simply about infrastructure. The creation of Abuja was also intended to provide Nigeria with a capital that would symbolize national unity. The city was designed to sit roughly in the center of the country and provide a federal environment where Nigerians from different regions could interact. Moving the capital back to Lagos could therefore reopen a long-standing debate about regional balance and the distribution of political power. There is also the question of whether a president alone could make such a decision. A permanent change to the federal capital would have major constitutional and legislative implications. It would not simply be a matter of relocating government offices from one city to another. Any serious attempt to change the capital will require a broad political process and significant legal steps. For these reasons, Nigerians should distinguish between Ayodele's prediction and an actual government plan. At the moment, there is no evidence presented in the statement that President Tinubu has decided to move the capital. The claim comes at a time when political attention is increasingly focused on the 2027 election. Tinubu is seeking re-election under the platform of the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC), while opposition parties and political groups are also positioning themselves ahead of the contest. The election is expected to generate numerous predictions, political alliances, and controversies as the country moves closer to the polls. Ayodele's statement adds another dramatic possibility to that political debate. If Tinubu were to win re-election and subsequently pursue a relocation of the capital, it would become one of the most significant administrative decisions in Nigeria's history. It will affect Abuja, Lagos, and potentially the entire structure of federal administration. It could also trigger a nationwide debate over whether the country should maintain Abuja as a neutral federal capital or reconsider the reasons that led to the creation of the Federal Capital Territory in the first place. Abuja remains Nigeria's capital, and there has been no official announcement that this will change. Ayodele's prediction therefore remains just a prediction. But with the 2027 presidential election approaching, the statement is certain to fuel curiosity among Nigerians who will be watching closely to see what policies and political developments emerge if Tinubu secures another term. And if the prediction ever becomes reality, the question will no longer be about an election campaign. It will be about Nigeria rewriting one of the most important chapters of its political history, moving the seat of national power from Abuja back to Lagos. For more insightful reports, stay with us on First Next News. I'm Chidera Isom. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next reports.